Now let's talk about mass properties in Onshape. One important first step to determining mass properties is assigning a material. To assign a material to a part, right-click the part in the Part Studio and choose Assign Material. You can also select several parts at once to apply the same material to those parts. After clicking Assign Material, a dialog appears allowing you to choose a material. By default, Onshape's material library is selected, but you can create custom material libraries and use them by selecting the pull-down menu and choosing another library. See the help documentation to learn more about creating custom material libraries. You can also add a custom material by clicking the Custom tab. Click in the drop-down and start scrolling through materials or use a simple search to find a material. Once the material is found, left-click it and select the green check to accept. Now that a material is assigned to the parts, the mass properties can be calculated. To view the mass properties, click on a part or parts that you are interested in from the parts list. The mass properties icon appears in the bottom right corner. To view the mass properties, simply click the Display Mass Properties icon, and the Mass Properties dialog appears. Here the mass, volume, surface area, center of mass, and moments of inertia are shown for the part or parts that you have selected. If a part that is selected does not have an assigned material, a message displays indicating this, and the part appears in red. To remove the part, select the X icon to the right of that part in the selection box. The properties in the mass properties are additive, meaning as you select additional parts, the mass properties dialog reflects the entire selection. If you wish to override any of these values, check the override box of the value you wish to override and enter the desired value. You may choose to do this when working with imported parts from a supplier site and you know the specifications of the parts, or in other instances where you have a value for the mass properties of a part. One thing to mention about the center of mass and moments of inertia, by default, they are based on a selected part or parts centroid. If you want the center of mass or moments of inertia to be relative to something else, you can use a make connector for a reference frame. Calculations like this can have a small amount of variance, depending on the geometry being measured. To see this variance, click the Show Calculation Variance checkbox. One final thing to mention about mass properties. You can also find the mass of parts or assemblies in the assembly by clicking on them from the instance list and again clicking the Display Mass Properties icon in the bottom right corner. To show the mass properties of an entire assembly, simply select the assembly name in the instance list.